Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ABC News Channel. That's right, ABC News Kamakazi style. ABC, another bullshit channel. Anyway, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you doing? I am the guy that brought you the mainstream media screaming that the patent date to the virus was not the antidote, which they're right, it wasn't. It's the chemical that causes symptoms to make you run out and get Jabberwockied. But here's the thing. There's all kind of goodies coming out, and all kind of goodies that have been out now since 2020, which a lot of you new, beautiful, awakening souls are just starting to find out in your deep dives and your digging, looking through ancient history, which is something I love studying, guys. So if you follow this channel, you're going to want to follow my other channel, Roar News TV 2. It's r.a.w.r.news and then t.v.2, okay? I got all kind of crazy stuff on there. I do some deep dives on stuff, ancient names, the city sites, and so on and so forth here in America, like the city, for instance, in Ohio, Cincinnati, named by a warrior and ex-lover slave of who? Lilith, a.k.a. Cleopatra. The city of Cincinnati, not how it's pronounced in the pronunciation of the spelling, but how it's actually spelled, means the city of transgressions against the children of God. Go and take a look at a lot of deep dives and studies of Ohio and why they're attacking Ohio. Go back and look at the rumors about them having information as well as, well, otherworldly visitors' craft, technology, and possibly the DNA of otherworldly visitors that didn't make it upon their retrieval of the wreckage from the crash sites. After all, rumor has it there's been a hybridization program going on between, well, several groups of individuals that don't have the best interest in the human collective in mind. And they've been doing it ever since they were here and we were human, or human being. The word in Latin means gifted individual of light, but in the actual translations of English it means the conglomeration of species known as monster. You'll have to excuse the lighting. I'm working on some new things, trying to get some other stuff done. I'm working a farm right now and setting a homestead up. We got fruit orchards going in, all kind of craziness, working on a deck, plus I'm still taking care of another farm, and I'm working on my own garden to get things going for my gardening channel. I've got so much going on. I fall asleep at 10:30 at night and I'm back up at 5 o'clock in the morning, out the door wide open, running. Go. So, anyway, the ascension is real. The Great Awakening is real. The Great Reset is what they're trying to do. And the Great Reset is basically when we become aware of the nefarious shit that they do and that they're using plant-based biological weapons or plant-based extracts causing symptoms of different variants, including the latest under Phi, the Greek alphabet, known as avian flu, which is basically Aspergillus mold spores, which is basically singling out El as in Elohim, or flighted ones, or the ones of flight, or the feathered ones of the avian species. So it's not just attacking the bird species of the planet, it's also attacking the lineages of the avian bloodlines in human beings. Therefore, like I stated, the conglomeration of species. Don't take my word for it, ladies and gentlemen. Go look at the famous picture of the Antichrist that was sketched out by Leonardo da Vinci. Has the head of a bird, the head of a serpent, the head of a lion, the head of a man. That's the conglomeration of species. That's human being, or the Antichrist. Basically, the rising of the Antichrist, meaning the rising of the soldiers against Christ, because what you're being told is Christ is not, it's actually Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call it, okay? A false bearer of light, Allah, all of that. The King of Kings, the great deceiver, okay? I'm not trying to say this to hurt anybody's feelings about religion. But what we've been told about our Creator God is a lie, okay? Everything that we've been told up until this point in life is a lie, except for the truths that are coming out and the things that are being uncovered through ancient history. There's pyramids all over this planet, but what people fail to realize is in America, in the USA, you're standing in the land of milk and honey. You're standing in Eden, This is the only continent where 4 rivers converge into one location. Unless you're talking about the spot in Antarctica under the ice that still hasn't thawed yet. I mean, we're under the dome of Atlantis. We're being hit with plant-based biological extracts from the right-hand side of the Greek alphabet. Shipple, China, Ukraine. The sheeple will think it's China. COVID-19, surrender Earth sheep. C represents carbon-based life. The word Ovid means sheep in Greek. 19 is the universal transponder for surrender, but in occult symbolisms it means the 1 is the serpent pillar, the 9 is the evil that walks amongst you on the earth. Then you have COVID backwards, Divok. It's ancient Hebrew dialect. It means to be possessed under one's possession of a higher authority or under possession of one's higher authority, or a slave. Earth sheep is nuclear family. Okay, if you look at why they're trying to attack J.K. Rowling, she's exposing the occult like it is. Okay, the Order of the Phoenix is not necessarily a good order. Okay, neither is the Golden Dawn. But then you have the Death Eaters, which are of the Naga, serpent. Okay, think about it. Voldemort named his snake Nagini. Okay, you have the Chamber of Secrets. What was underground in the tunnels where tortured souls were kept at bay? A basilisk, a serpent with poison. And the only way you could fucking beat the poison was to eat the gallbladder. Same historical representations of killing Draco reptilians. If they bite you, you had to cut out their gallbladder and eat it. They have 2 hearts and they're almost fucking bulletproof. They're like 7 foot tall and they weigh like 400 some fucking pounds, and they move faster than any fucking man on land recorded, including freaking the track star there from Jamaica, man, Usain Bolt. The video you seen of the helicopter night vision, the Russian soldier on the ground getting jumped by 5 Draco reptilians on the fucking ground and getting ripped apart, those are genetically engineered underground, okay? They're half raptor, half humanoid. Basically, they took Terra DNA from the original Terra people, the Terrans, the reptilians that were here on Earth when mankind freaking got dropped off. They were helping mankind until humanity came along. Look at what David did. He killed the last of the Moab tribe, the last of the lion humanoid species, the last of the visages of the Moab. What happened to the dog-headed traders of the Portugal Islands, you know, the cynocephaly, or did they go on the other side of the wall under the dome? Questions. I mean, all these white balloons are falling out of the sky with all these satellites. I think maybe somebody might have control of the ball, huh? I think that's what they're trying to tell you, is eventually when something hits the dome, it's going to bounce and come right back down. After all, look at the SpaceX launches from the West Coast. That shit hitting the dome and just spinning and spinning and spinning and spiraling into a circle. And then finally, it freaking either opens up a portal and shit jumps through, or it just falls out of the sky when it runs out of fuel. Oh, come on, man. See this stuff for what it is. You got progenitin, which is a main-base virginized chemical of adrenal. I don't even want to say the whole word. Think about it. Your operating systems of your phone is Arduino operating services, and you have Chrome server. So you already know where I'm going with this, but they have a party drug that they call White Rabbit, and I'll leave it at that. But, you know, there's references in history in front of our face. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. They weren't talking about the sparkly things you wear on your finger. And those sparkly things you wear on your finger, we're coming to find out that those aren't made under pressure and coal. They're made in a laboratory, trying to remain anonymous on trying to, let's just say, get rid of the evidence from their leftovers, if you know what I mean. So, I want to welcome you to my channel, and I'm hitting you in the head with all kind of knowledge right out the wop, just to let you know, there's a lot of people out here awake. There's a lot of people out here that say they're awake, and they really have no clue what's going on. You at war with aliens right now, motherfuckers. And they're trying to keep the peace, and they're trying to keep everybody calm and chill the fuck out. They've been spraying you with lithium to keep you sedate so you don't go to war against these fucks, because they're saying it's already over with. But if it was already over with, we wouldn't be going through this right now. So keep that in the back of your minds. Head on the swivel. Prepare your families, man. Start making water catchment systems and water filtration systems from natural shit. Keep it covered and locked with a seal on it. Even put tape around it if you got to. Don't let no chemicals in your shit. Once you make your shit, make sure you do it on a chemtrail-free day when they ain't spraying no chemtrails. You make your water filtration system. You fill that bucket with water. Make sure your valve's off. You run a half a 5-gallon bucket through it to flush it out. Once that's done, you dump that water in your garden. Water your plants with it. You know what I'm saying? It's got charcoal. That charcoal will get in there and act as biochar. It'll soak up nutrients and eventually over time it'll release nutrients and replace those nutrients with toxins and break down. The biochar will break down all the chemical nutrients in the soil and turn it back into positive shit for your fucking plants. I don't know what else to tell you. If you can hydrogenate your water and freeze it, and then pour all the water that drains, like all the water that comes off when it first starts to thaw, pour all that water off. Then let your water unfreeze. You're pouring all the deuterium off. Take that water and pour that water in through a filter system. Make a small barrel filter with charcoal, pea gravel, and sand. Filter that water about 5 or 6 times. You know what I'm saying? Filter it through the thing. Keep pouring your deuterium water in it until it's filled. Then you filter that water out. And then what you do is once you filter it again, pour it back through again. The deuterium can only go through 2 layers of carbon before it's trapped. So if you've got a 4 or 5 layer system, it'll trap that deuterium in there. Deuterium is okay as far as a built chemical, as long as you're not fucking with it and heating it up or playing with it. It doesn't emit irradiation. And you just got to make sure that you don't handle it with your bare skin when you go to get rid of your waste. Dig a hole and start a fire. Then what you do is you get your fire red fucking hot. And you take that whole top layer and everything out of there and just sprinkle it around the inside of your fire and your coals. And just stir that shit with a rake. It'll cook off the deuterium. It'll turn it into vapor and it'll vaporize it. It'll burn it off cleanly. And it'll create carbon and it'll create hydrogen as well. Don't know if you know that or not. A lot of scientists don't even want to talk about that kind of stuff. And see, I wouldn't know anything about this if I hadn't started studying back in 2017 when I first had like my real major awakening. But like the real first awakening I had, all bullshit aside, I seen through the eyes of a child slave on another planetary system in the Kepler region. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I did. And it was through, they all had Neuralink on them. And it was before Neuralink was even talked about in the open. And that was back in 2006, going into 2007. It was November of 2006. So, yeah, you know what I mean? That was my first experience as being a seer. And ever since then, I can remote view. I can go on journeys off into the universe and come back freaking an hour later. I can be gone for days. I can go into a meditative state, tell my people, look, I need you to take care of my dog for a few days. I need to meditate and pray and spend some time to myself. I go out into the woods, sit in this little spot in the middle of nowhere. It's just a little grove of trees, and I sit there and meditate. I'll be gone for 2 days. I woke up the other day after meditating in the pouring down rain. I was out for freaking 9.5 hours. Didn't even know it was raining. So, I don't know what's going on with me. Shit happens. I've been blowing light bulbs in my trailer. I got 12 volt lights and I'm off grid. But if I get angry or something or I get pissed off, I start blowing light bulbs. I've gone through like 30 fucking light bulbs in like 9 months. I get mad, my lights start flickering, and then boom, that fucking 2 or 3 of my bulbs pop at the same time if I've got them on. I had to unplug my LED lights because I get so angry sometimes my LED lights start flashing. Like I can project that much energy. So I changed my diet. I eat non-nightshade diet because nightshade is what's attached to what's being chemmed on us. And basically when you eat food that you're sprayed with a biological extract from, it makes you super sick. So you're eating things while you're getting sick, thinking it's making you better, and it's only making you sicker. It's a perfect biological untraceable toxin. It's all connected to the missing pages of the plant voynich manuscripts. Have a good day, guys.